This happened back when I was in 10th grade. I went to a high school that I would describe as pretty average. For the most part, nothing that interesting or exciting happened on a daily basis. Back then, I would ride the bus to and from school every day from my house, which was about 10 minutes away. One day in the spring, I was in my third period class. It was a writing class, and I always found it really boring. This day in particular was like many others. Towards the end of class, with maybe 20 minutes left, I got up and asked to go to the bathroom. My teacher said yes, and I left the classroom. I walked down the empty hallway to the bathrooms. They weren't that far away, just at the end of the hall and around a corner. As I was inside using the bathroom, I heard the door open. Nobody walked in though. Instead, I heard them say, "Is anybody in here?" When I heard this, I was confused. It was a bathroom with multiple stalls, so why would they ask that? I did not answer, and after like 2 or 3 seconds, the door shut. Whoever it was had left. It seemed like it was probably a teacher. I finished up, and as I was at the sink washing my hands, I heard the school intercom beep. Then there was an announcement that the school was now in a lockdown. I remember they said that this was not a drill. I felt a little bit nervous when hearing that. Maybe that's why someone had asked if anybody was in the bathroom. I wasn't quite sure what to do. Was I supposed to stay in the bathroom or go back to the classroom that I had been in? I figured that it would be best to go back to the classroom. My teacher was probably wondering where I was. I left the bathroom, but I didn't want any teachers to see me, or I was afraid that I would get in trouble. When I got into the hallway, I saw that it was completely empty still. Things were also very silent. I walked down the hallway to go around the corner and back to the hall that my classroom was in. However, I heard footsteps as I got near. I wasn't sure who it was, probably a teacher. I decided to move back and hope that they wouldn't see me, but the footsteps continued to get closer. I then walked back down the hallway and quickly turned the first corner to another hallway. When this happened, I heard the footsteps speed up. I was 100% sure now that they were following me. They didn't say anything though. I started moving even faster, and the footsteps got faster as well. Then, I started to realize that maybe this wasn't a teacher. Maybe this was somebody who wasn't supposed to be in the building. I turned another corner and was looking around for anywhere to go to get away. I happened to see a door that was open a little bit. I quickly got inside as the footsteps approached from around another corner. I shut the door, and at first, I couldn't see anything. The lights were off, but it looked like I was in some kind of closet. There was a bunch of stuff in there, like extra desks and boxes. I couldn't see well at all, but I could make out those things. I was completely silent, even holding my breath. I could still hear the footsteps, and they continued to get closer and closer. Eventually, they reached right outside of where I was. But they just walked past. I felt so much better when I heard that. I could hear them walking farther away down the hall at the same fast pace. The footsteps got quieter and quieter as they moved away. It then got very silent. I was feeling better and feeling like whoever that was now gone and it would be safe to leave. Just to be sure though, I was waiting a little bit longer. Then, out of nowhere, I heard a noise. But it was coming from behind me, inside the room that I was in. I turned around just in time to see a man in there, coming around one of the boxes. I couldn't see any details of who it was because of how dark it was in there, just that it was a man. I ran for the door as fast as I possibly could. Luckily, I was only a few feet away. I opened it and ran out into the hallway. I didn't look back and sprinted in the direction down the hallway that the footsteps had walked. Within a minute, I saw a man walking. He turned around looking confused. It was one of our teachers. I recognized him. I told him that there was a man hiding in the closet. We both went towards the front of the school where the main offices were. We were let into a room, and I found out that the police had just arrived. Within 20 minutes, they had found the man who had moved and was now hiding in a bathroom. He was in fact not supposed to be in the school, and was the whole reason that we had been under a lockdown. The footsteps that I had heard were just a teacher. I can't believe that I hid in the same room as that guy. Looking back, I definitely should have just walked straight back to my classroom.